Most revolutions are loud. This one is quiet. It does not arrive with banners or slogans. It arrives as infrastructure, subtle changes in how value moves, who controls access, and how trust is established. Web3 is not a rebellion against the system. It is a reconfiguration of flow, and that distinction matters. Web3 is often misunderstood. It is not a promise of instant freedom. It is not a guarantee of wealth. It is not immune to failure, greed, or error. It does not eliminate institutions. It does not remove risk. It does not fix human behavior. Anyone presenting it as salvation is repeating the same mistake every generation makes, confusing tools with outcomes. What Web3 actually changes is where friction lives. In traditional systems, friction is imposed by intermediaries. In digital networks, friction is pushed into code, explicit, inspectable, and often optional. This is the core shift. Instead of trusting institutions to behave correctly, accepting delays you cannot audit, or paying fees you cannot verify, you interact with systems where rules are visible, settlement is deterministic, and access is permissionless by default. This does not make systems fair. It makes them legible. Gatekeepers control flow by discretion. Protocols control flow by rules. That difference is everything. A protocol does not care who you are. It does not ask for status, context, or justification. If conditions are met, the transaction happens. If they are not, it doesn't. There is no mood, no exception, no favor. This removes a specific kind of power, the power to decide after the rules have already been written. Many people focus on speed as the advantage of digital systems. That misses the point. Speed matters only because it reduces exposure. When settlement is immediate, uncertainty collapses. When ownership is final, leverage disappears. When access is direct, dependency weakens. The real advantage is not speed, it is finality. Finality restores agency. Self-custody is often framed as a lifestyle choice, a technical burden, or an ideological stance. It is none of those. It is a structural shift in where control resides. When you hold value directly, permission disappears. When permission disappears, friction loses leverage. When leverage disappears, power decentralizes, not evenly, but irreversibly. This does not mean everyone should self-custody everything. It means the option now exists, and optionality changes behavior upstream. Digital rivers bypass toll booths. They do not eliminate institutions, but they force them to compete. Fees must be justified. Delays must be explained. Restrictions must be defended. This is uncomfortable for systems built on opacity. Transparency removes narrative control. Determinism removes discretion. When people can see how value moves, they begin to ask better questions. Trust does not disappear in digital systems, it relocates. Instead of trusting people, you trust code. Instead of trusting promises, you trust execution. Instead of trusting authority, you trust verifiability. This is not inherently better. Code can fail, protocols can be misdesigned, but failure becomes observable rather than obscured. Visibility replaces faith. Flow always feels chaotic to those accustomed to stillness. When barriers fall, movement increases. When movement increases, volatility follows. This is not instability, it is repricing. Systems adjusting to real-time information appear noisy at first. Over time, they become efficient. Water is loud when it breaks through a dam. It is quiet once it finds its path. Web3 does not give people more money. It gives them more exits, more ways to move, more ways to opt out, more ways to route around friction. That alone is enough to change incentives across the entire landscape. Power adapts when exits exist. Digital rivers are still forming. Channels are shallow. Currents are uneven. Floods happen. This is expected. Early infrastructure is always unstable. But once value learns how to move without permission, it does not forget. The question is not whether digital rivers will replace everything. They won't. The question is whether you recognize when value is flowing around you and whether you are positioned to move with it, instead of defending structures that require stillness to survive. Web3 is not the destination. It is the moment water finds a new path. And once it does, the landscape is never the same.